Hello, everybody. Hold on, I'm reloading this tab so I can check this and get over here to the chat. Live, 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 live. Is it not doing it? I'm working on it. Reload the tab again. Not letting me. It's not. Says one's watching. Who is the one? But I can't. Hold on. All right. So I'm over here trying to get this to click on, and not bringing up the. Oh, here we go. There it is. I couldn't see the chat. Couldn't see who's here. Hold on, everybody. All right. Do the pop out chat so I can see everything. All right. Okay. So now, wait, hold on. Let's make this the right show. Is that any better? Thank you, Lewis. And you notice up in the corner, I have a logo. So thank you guys. Thank you. And that was made by Mr. Wood, Mr. Mike Woods. Wood, not Woods. Wood. That is one of my original pieces of music. Thank you, Greasy. Yeah, Mike did that, and I thought it was pretty cool. Thank you. Now I do have a new camera that should be here Wednesday, and it is 4K, which will handle the 4K on here, so it should look better. Yeah, I do. I do need to get some decals made and some pics. I did have pics made for uh, the relic and roll type thing. So I need to get some of these made. Can you guys hear me okay? I want to make sure that first too. Also, blah. Mr. Mick, Brian, Lewis, backstage, Uncle Raymond, Derek, Greasy, Peggy, MPN. All right. Good. I'm glad everybody's saying hello and hi to everybody because I freaking love this community and this guitar chat. Uh, Great people here all the way around. Martian, hello. So, um, you know, okay, I want to, I want to say, I want to, but I don't want to. Wait, let me turn this light down for a minute. There we go. Shining my eyes too bright. Okay, I was kind of going to let this go But then I realized, it's it needs explained. It's not completely true. I did not quit Johnny's show. I've never said I quit, never rage quit, never just stepped aside. And then Mr. Mick had made a comment in the show the other day about how, Johnny not having me on. And Johnny had answered him with the comment, "Hey, that is not true. I told him 2 months ago." And he did 2 months ago. He said, "I know what I need to change. Changes are coming. So look for big changes." First, it was after the first of the year, and then it was after NAM. That's what he told me. Never one time did he ever tell me that I would no longer be on the show. He never said that. So I knew changes were coming. I thought they involved me because he never said they didn't. So that's the actual truth. Um, so I mean, he didn't really lie. He just didn't say it all. He did tell me that changes were coming, so that was right. But he did not tell me that I wouldn't be part of it. That I wouldn't be part of his show going forward. So I just wanted to set that clear. Um, and again, I didn't quit. He just made changes, and I'm not included, and that's fine. I mean, my only problem with that is, um, I look at it this way: it's his show. I knew it would never, I wasn't going to be on there for the rest of our lives, and and he wanted to make changes. That's fine, and I hope that he succeeds in what he's trying to do. But the part that gets me, by not just saying, "Hey, Ron, I'm making changes. I want to do this by myself. You know, I don't need you right now." I'm fine with that. I would have been fine with that. But it's the disrespect of not just coming out and saying, "Hey, I don't need you on the show anymore, or at least for now, or ever, whatever." He never told me that. But then he turns around in the chat and then said that, Mr. Mick, he told Mr. Mick, answered his question and said, "That's not true. I knew that I knew changes were coming." Yes, I knew they were coming, but again, he never said I wasn't going to be part of it. He never told me I was not going to be on the show anymore. So nothing against Johnny. I just think it's a show of disrespect towards me. Uh, I liked being on the show. I liked meeting all you guys there on the show. That was great. And I'm glad you're here, you know. And I don't want to sit here and say, "Oh, if you're watching me, you can't watch him." That's no. You watch whatever you want to watch. If you're here, that's fine. Um, but I just wanted to clear that out. I'm not mad. I'm not going to create fake Johnny Bean accounts and do that crap that the other guys are doing or whoever's doing it. That's I'm not 15 anymore, so big deal. But like I said, I just wanted to get that out there so you guys know that he never told me I wasn't going to be on the show. He just quit giving me links, and then a couple Saturdays ago, I text him starting 4 or 5 hours before the show, 3 times asking him for the link, and then I think the fourth time I put, "Okay, please," something like that, and he wrote, "Hey, no, not tonight." So he wouldn't give me the link, and then he's never given me one in any part of it or any of them after that. So, and that, again, that's fine. That's what he wants to do. That's absolutely fine. I hope it works for him. It's just a show of disrespect that I'm not mad. I'm not mad at it. I'm just upset. because um, I honestly thought he and I were better friends than that. Um, you know, but it is what it is. So enough of that. So, okay, any questions? I see one from Derek. Let's see. I was curious if I want to upgrade my Floyd from a 1000 to an OFR. Okay, Derek, the post for the German Floyd are the better post, but the 1000 series works just fine. And again, unless you're Dimebag or Eddie and you're playing, 5 nights a week, beating the crap out of it, they'll last you for a long time. So no, you as long as it's a 1000, you don't have to change them. Now there used to be post for the special, then the 1000, and then the original. Now I think they stopped the special because they were inferior, and I think now it's 1000 and the original, and they just slap the special on with the 1000. So your 1000 posts are fine. Well, let me address some of the comments here. Yeah, that night he told me I wouldn't, no, hey, no, not tonight or something like that. That was 4 minutes before the show was scheduled, and then I guess he said during the show one of you guys asked where I was, and he said he hadn't heard from me, which literally within 10 minutes he did. He answered me, so I don't know. I don't know why he does what he does. Um, it's a shame because I really liked Johnny. I mean I really did. But I again it's his show. That's fine. It's just the show of disrespect by not telling me. That's what's and I'm not mad. I'm just upset because I thought he and I were better friends than that. But he can do what he wants to do, and in a way, I'm kind of grateful because it turned me into doing this now. So I can go live anytime, pretty much. Now that I've signed on to this, EV Mux, I think that's how you say it. I'm unlimited, so I can go anytime and do it. I mean, you're seeing, I'm learning it. Um, burrito, Fredo. Yeah, no, I mean, hey, it's yeah, I know. Yeah, I know, Greasy. I when I about halfway through my time with Johnny, I kept getting, and I still don't know who did it or how they did it, but I was getting messages on my phone, on the phone, which means they had to have my number. Um, that telling me stuff that those guys were saying about him and a few times about me. And I'm like, yeah, what? Again, I'm not in grade school. I could care less. And like I said, I hope Johnny gets, I hope that he gets it going and gets what he wants to do with his show. I really do. I don't want to see anybody fail. Um, like I said, I'm not mad at all. I'm just upset because, I wouldn't have done that to him. Um, but it is what it is and it's past. So, um, that's fine. You know, again, I'm not going to sit on here and rag on him because it doesn't do anything. So, well, You know, the, the comments you guys are making, I, it humbles me. Thank you. And it's nice to know that I was liked that much on his show. Um, so thank you very much for that. And I hope that this turns into everything you guys want it to be. So with that, plus, like I said before, when you guys are in the chat, I want to see some of you guys on here with me. I mean, I'll send you guys the links and get you going that way. So for those of you who just got in and didn't see the beginning, let me show that clip one more time. Mr. Mick, yeah, I thought so too. I mean, I really did. It kind of. I plan on it, Lewis. I mean, I'm retired. I got nothing else to do. So, and fortunately, I'm not doing this for my job. And again, I know that's why he does things. He choices, excuse me, choices he makes is because this is his job. So I understand that. I get it. Like I said, it's just the way it went down from him. Just all he had to do is say, "Hey, Ron, look, I got to make changes, and I'm going to do it by myself for from now on or for a while or whatever." That's all he had to say. I wouldn't have got mad. I wouldn't have cussed him out. Matter of fact, I've pretty much quit cussing, and now for over a month. You can even ask my wife. Um, so I'd have been fine with that, but I'm not fine with the disrespect because I never did that to him. At least, not that I know of. If I did, it was accidental. And I know there were times he, um, I don't even know what word I'm looking for, where he wasn't so nice to me during the shows. Believe me, I know, because I would get comments from you guys, and thank you for that. And I did my best a few times when he did really, like it might not have been a good day for me. Then he decided to attack that, and he was doing it for um, content. I understand that, but there were a few times that it did make me mad, and I tried my best to hide it. But a couple of you caught it because I'd get text messages letting me know. So, but again, let's see. Last kind of greasy, yeah. That's the part that, again. Hey, Steve. Um, yeah, I plan on going on Laz's show, unless he doesn't want me on there anymore. You know, but no, I don't have. Again, I don't have a problem with either one of them. I like Laz a lot. Laz has a big heart. Sometimes it's too big, where it could be a weak point also. But Laz has a big heart. Great guy. Never an issue with Laz ever, ever. So, but I do, Mr. McGee. Well, yeah, I know. Um, it's a shame, but we're all adults, and if he doesn't want to put up with that, then he doesn't have to be part of. I don't even know how to explain that. But anyhow, again, I have nothing against Johnny. I hope he does well. I hope his new decisions and his new ideas work out for him. That's fine. And Laz, I think Laz is great. Um, I'm going to do this, and if Laz invites me on his show, I'll be on his show. I don't think I have to worry about Johnny inviting me anymore, but it is what it is. So anyhow, let's get off that backstage. Yeah, Laz is a great person. He really is. Um, thank you, John. Hey, man. Han, thank you. Okay, so for those of you who didn't see it, I have a new intro for the show, and thanks to Mr. Mike Wood for making this for me. It's all photo. It's my music. It's all my photos, and the little video clip is me playing. Just a short little video. It's 30 seconds long, but it's the intro to the shows now. So here you go. I'll play it for you now, so you guys who weren't here when I played it get to see it. I think that's pretty cool. And I tried to do it on the free stuff with the free StreamYard, and it would not let me. I didn't try it free on here, but this is only the third time I've used this Emux or EvMux, whatever it is, EvMux. So, but yeah, this is Michael B. What's happening? So this is new. I did subscribe, so I can do unlimited stuff now. I think it's great, and you bear with me because for 3 years I didn't run any of the shows on Johnny's or Laz's show. I was always just the guest or the guest host. So I didn't know how to do any of this stuff. So I'm learning. So there's going to be some mistakes made, and I notice this in my headphone. You hear that? When I'm not on the microphone, it doesn't do it. The mic picking that up more than it ever is for some reason. So I got to figure that out too. But anyhow, so you guys, I plan on doing this, and you guys can grow with me. Well, Mr. Mick, I wish you would. Thank you. I really wish you guys would share whatever you need to share. Send people this way. They don't have to join if they don't want to. I'm not going to sit here and say, hey, join or do this or do this. And I'm not going to charge anything. There's no Patreon. I don't have super chats set up. I have no idea how that would work. Well, yeah, that wouldn't work because there's nothing set up for anything to go to wherever the money would go. So we're fine there. So we're just doing this. Thank you, MPN. So we're doing it. You guys can be here. You guys are on the ground floor. If you hang out, we'll just grow together. And then, because I'm not worried about getting 100,000 subs or 10,000 subs. I'm not worried about that. All I want to do is show what I do and help you guys out. That's it. So any other questions at all? I'm looking. If you're wondering why I'm looking, because there's two screens. The camera and video is here, but the chat is on that screen, so I have to look over there to read it. Just push a button to change your color. Oh. Are you signing on to this, Greasy? Cool. I'm telling you, you can do a lot of stuff with it. Get tired of the laughing button. Well, to be honest with you, I never liked that either. But again, it was his show, so I wasn't going to say don't. But occasionally, if you guys noticed where I'd go like this, like reaching over here, when he would hit that, I would have to turn his volume down on my headphones because that thing would just pierce through everything. So I did not want to do that and have it. I already have my ears are bad enough with tinnitus. So, yeah, greasy it is. And again, I got a 4K camera coming, so it should make the screen, what you guys see, so much better. So what I'm going to do is put the 4K cam up there, move this one to the bench, and that gives me one extra one, and I'll have an extra camera. So, yeah. Well, I was the one. Oh, okay, Lewis, are you gonna send the cassette tomorrow? That's fine. That's fine. Thank you. Yeah. So you guys are in the ground floor. We'll make this work. You can grow with me, and also, like I said, I have no problem having one of you guys on every week if you want to be on the show. We'll do it that way. I really want you guys to be part of it. Now the giveaways, I will do some. I can't do as many as he did. But when I give something away, it's going to be like a bench uh, rest for your neck on your guitar. And matter of fact, I have one I'm making now. Not my design. Someone, I don't know if it's their company, their channel, or their initials, but it's P P S G or P. Well, I'll show you when we get to the bench. And it's out there free, so anybody can make them. They're 3D print files. You just can't sell them. So I'm going to make those, and I'm at least going to do one, always one giveaway a month, sometimes two. Um, and Billy Ray, thank you, Billy. Well, Billy Ray said when I hit 500 subscribers, he is going to do a guitar giveaway for me. So I appreciate that, Billy. Thank you very much. But anyhow, I'm going to do the. I'll show you over there. You guys have all seen the other ones. They're the same thing, except there's an extension in the front where you can put Allen wrenches and stuff in it. So it works pretty good. Plus, I can make them pretty much any color. Oh, okay. You got the 24 model. Yeah, there you go. It will wake them up. I'll tell you that. Did you get the batteries with it, or do you got to go buy the batteries? Because I know you can get it with the batteries or without. Thank you. Did Jupe? So thank you guys. Thank you very much. Peggy and Billy Ray and Laz are my mods, moderators. Uh, and we'll see. It could grow from there. So, you know, I don't have anything. I don't have any restrictions on here yet. I don't plan on it unless I'm forced to by some people who might jump in and try to do stuff. Then I'll have to, definitely restrict that. But right now, I'm kind of hoping everybody just behaves because we're all pretty much adults. At least I hope we are. And again, I'm new to this, and I do like this EV Mux a lot better than what I saw on Streamyard. Okay, Mr. Mick, we'll talk about that. But yeah, what I want to do is get people in the chat involved and on the show. Even if you can only stay for 10 minutes or 15 minutes, that's fine. Come on and say hi to everybody and then hang out. But I do want to get people also who work on their own guitars. on here. And thank you, Peggy. Well, yeah, and it's you know, not so much where I said this is how I do it. How do you do it? And then you guys benefit because you get to see the same result, but different ways to get there. Like if you're going to a store, you can get to that same store many ways. So look at it this way, or look at it that way. There's many different ways to get the same thing on the guitars. And for those of you who are new here, I can't. Well, the camera's up. You can see there's a bunch of them here on this wall. 14 here that you can't see, but you can see from here over. So I will move and let you guys see the rest. There's actually more on this wall too, but they're back this way so you can't see them. But here you go. And so you know, I am a fan of Jackson and Charvel and ESP. We have I have the Mesa uh, oversized rectifier stack. There's an Engel uh, Powerball 2. There's an Engel Invader 150, a Mesa dual rectifier, and believe it or not, a B52 AT100 stands for All Tube 100, and it's basically a triple rectifier. So what happens is you have all tubes. I can't remember. There's either 11 or 13 tubes in that amp total. You have two. You got one clean channel and two gain, two dirties. You can have it on all tubes, or you can have it on half tubes, half solid state, or flip the switch the third time, and you're on all solid state. And then the bottom is my custom Randall head that I ordered in 1988. And that's a B52 cabinet. And I'm slowly upgrading the speakers because the cabinets are built great. They are really good cabinets. The issue with them, the B52 speakers suck. So I'm slowly changing them out all to vintage 30s. Those are all Jackson soloists there and down there, and then the two Charvels on the end, or the Sandemus Pro Mod. So for those of you who want to see, there you go. And I'm a big fan of Engel. I have a Savage 122, but not here. So I got a bunch of stuff in storage across the state. And let's see. So let's see. Yeah, I have an actual J Frog Bones guitar, couple ESPs. I have a Sandoval. Here's I'll show you this one. Let me drop this over. This was my father's that he bought new. This guitar is older than me, been in this house longer than I have. It's 1959 Les Paul Jr. It is completely original. As you can tell, it's naturally relict because I drug it around as a kid, then my son Cole drug it around as a kid. Original frets. I even have the original amp, the Gibson amp that goes with it down here, and it still works with all original tubes, too. So I prefer to hang them on the wall instead of, if I have them on the floor, then they are on a stand. I'm not going to stack them against each other. Hey, Dwight. So yeah, it works out pretty good. So, all right, let me switch the camera to the bench. I'm not going to show the addresses, but MPN in the mail tomorrow. Um, what this is, and I apologize for taking so long, but during my I paint guitars, custom paint guitars, and I did. Uh, they're all pretty much the 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 actual custom paint jobs. Excuse me, are all pretty much one offs. So I may do another one like his, but it won't be the same thing. It will be different. So they're all one of one, and I'm sending out certificates with it. So I did his Cosmo guitar, which I can show you um, some photos for those of you who don't know. And hold on. I gotta find it. MPN. Okay. So here's the front of it. This was a Kramer Beretta that I also routed out for a Floyd. So we're looking at the Cosmos. That's the front. Here's the rear. And because it was a Kramer and it's a Cosmos thing, so I named it the Cosmo Kramer. Never got sued by Jerry Seinfeld, so we're good. So anyhow, I got the certificate of authenticity for it, filled it out, signed it, and it's coming to MPN. It'll probably be at his place by Friday. So I've done a lot. Here, I'll show you this one. This lady sent me this black Fender bass. There was nothing wrong with it, but she's a fan of Steve Harris from Iron Maiden. So she asked me to turn it into a Steve Harris bass, which I did. And the shine, you can see the reflection on it of the other parts of the walls. I do all kind of paint jobs. Um, I mean, it's well, I even did this one for Johnny, which was going to be a giveaway guitar. So who knows? But here it well, he actually took it apart, but this was it. His little mini guitar. That's color shifting paint. It goes from a gold to a pink to a purple. So there's not I did this candy apple red for this left-handed bass. I use automotive paints and automotive. It's from a company called Auto HQ for the clear. There's like the paint. It's actual paint that I spray through the gun. And this base here, this is when I was getting ready to paint. That's in the primer. Became see if I can get a good became this one. So this clear goes on and it looks like it's wet. Like a burnt Lambo orange. So I've done a lot. Even the King V behind me is my Predator blood. Right here, this was just regular black. Wait a minute. Get my out of here. This was regular black. And I'm a fan of the Predator movies and the Alien movies. So I wanted the blood drip. And on the back, I kind of tried to do a handprint, like right there, but I didn't have enough green on me to get it all the way across. But what I did with this one is I'm also a fan of Chris Holmes. And Chris, he had the 31st or 32nd Jackson ever made. And it was white with the red blood. Well, they didn't sand it down when they put the red on it. They just cleared over it, so you could feel all the bumps, everything. And I thought, you know what, I want to do that with this. That's what I did. But what was funny, if you see right here, you notice that this side is more of a pour. Because what I literally did was pour the green paint on here, so you can see how I poured more on one side than the other, but yet when it came underneath, it looks like it's uniform. Look. Looks the same, even though I didn't do it that way. So then I put, got, two pickups, kill switch, one volume, and then you go between the bridge, both, or the neck. That's it. No tone. So. And I did this about a week ago, 2 weeks ago. This hollow flash. And I also did one of these for Johnny, his black one. Do a little bit on the headstock, not a lot. This is the Beretta Special, Seymour Duncan, and then an actual Fender tremolo on it. Those of you who didn't see it before, my J Frog, with the flat neck, literally. You can see it's flat. That's how I wanted it. And I freaking love it. Wish they were all like that. This is not paint, hand carved. You can get your hand in it anywhere. All right. So with that, well, before I go any farther, any more questions? Beat up star guitar. Lewis, is that the one that's got the metal piece on the bottom because it broke off? Thank you, John. Yeah, I got all kinds of photos. My son-in-law, I had a guitar that I was prepping to paint, and he happened to stop by the garage. Let's see. Yeah, this was it. I was sanding this down to paint, and it was wet. He's like, "Oh, I like that. I like that." So he offered to buy it off of me, and I'm like, "What do you mean you like it?" He goes, "Can you You can just, I'll do it. You can have it. So I ended up clearing it. Look at the clear on this, which is really wild because it looks like it's all tore up. But the clear on it is unbelievable. So I ended up taking this, clearing it, putting it all together. I put new frets on the fretboard, got it all hooked up for him, and that ended up being what it looked like. So I did that one for him, and then let's see, this crackle, and then then an orange crackle. I don't know if I have a full. Now that's when I was sanding the clear on it to buff it out. The orange one, it's like a lava, and then you can see the reflection of the light in that. So, those three are my son-in-laws. I got all kinds. I paint like crazy, and I just picked up a week ago tomorrow. I picked up my new paint booth that I'm working in the garage working on, so I can get it up. I actually got a professional paint booth with an exhaust fan and everything for it now, so we're good to go. All right, so let me see. Wrong question. Little string blocks that tighten down the strings on the Ibanez edge trim. Tell you what, yeah, I would say ask MPN. He is the Ibanez guy, especially the edge stuff. Yeah, ask MPN. He's the he's the edge guy. Strip screws maybe. Uh, yeah, living on the edge. All right, I'm going to switch cameras to the bench. Uh, you guys will know on one of Johnny's shows, I did my blue crackle, and I wired the LED. I had the LED kill switch with a little switch on the back, turn off and on. And then what would happen when you were playing it, you would end up shutting the LED off. The switch would flip because it was. I had it. I'll show you. I had it cut out on the back cavity cover and inserted in there. So during one of the shows, I thought I'm going to take that switch out and wire it so when you plug the jack in, it lights up. And I did it live on a show. First time I ever did it. Now I have a guy that wants me to do one for him, and I can't remember how I wired it, so I got to tear it apart and look. So let me switch cameras, and we'll go right over there. Like I told you, if I don't know what it's going to take to fix it or don't know what it is, we'll figure it out together. I'm not going to tell you I do and when I don't. So can you guys hear me? I think you can, right? Okay. Let me get the chat on here. Maybe. Right. Okay, you shut this down now. I'll show you why what I did here, and like I said, I don't remember. He what it was a guy came here, and he's like, oh, let me. He played it. He's like, man, I love this. I said, well, here, plug it in. And I plugged it in, and the LED kill switch lit up. He's like, oh my god, that's great. Can you do that for me? I'm like, sure. Then I got to thinking, I have to remember how I wired it in now. So I know I did it live on the show on one of the bench nights. It must have been a Saturday, one of the Saturday shows. So hold on here. I can see what I'm doing too on here. Sure you guys can see it okay. I am going to be working on getting a new mic for here. So it won't sound so bad. Oh, let me show you this. This is Laz's the Floyd that's going on the Kramer, and it's been upgraded. Big block, stainless steel hardware, 1,000 saddles instead of the special. And then I did the red in there to match the guitar, a little touch, and a push-in bar. So that'll be that. That'll work. Try to get that fixed. Dang it. Okay. So here is the new one I was talking about. So I'm going to give these away. Pretty much any color. Now the guy, I don't know, PSG. I don't know if that's his initials or his business or whatever, but he made it so you can actually lower the neck cradle down and added the tool holder. So if you're working on a guitar with a Floyd, that's because they fit in there perfect. So here's the one of the capacitors going in the red Kramer, which is going to be Wednesday. I'm going to be taking it up there because tomorrow I have to run and do a bunch of stuff. All right. It's hard to hear. Well, okay, hold on. Let me. That, that make it any better? Hold on. How's that? That ain't better? Is that any better at all? Can you hear it better? Okay. All right. So, well, let me turn up a little bit more. Found out I don't need another mic. I have the Cloud Lifter for the other one, and they're the same mics, the Shure SM7Bs. And this one, I wasn't using a Cloud Lifter on. It was like an inline preamp. That must have been what was making the noise because I just unplugged the other one and plugged this into the Cloud Lifter, and I'm not hearing all that noise. You guys are saying it sounds good. So there you go. So now I just need to buy another Cloud Lifter. These are Seymour Duncan hot rails. But what I want to do, and I ordered, that's a custom Black Winter in the blue. Although the photo, it looked more this blue, so it came a lot lighter. I got the blue hardware, and I ordered blue titanium tuners. And I thought they matched this color-wise, but they're a little bit lighter. So you can see. And this, it just stuff I like to do to make it fine. Like, here. Then I didn't want to poke the holes with the soldering iron in it like Dime did. And I found these rubber band things on Amazon that actually fit these perfect, and it's right there. Got it. So here's the kill switch. Got an LED. Problem being when I plug it in with this light, I'm not going to see it that much. Well, all right, so before I had a switch on it right here that I cut in here. It's a little rocker switch. And you'd hit it, you'd be playing and hit it, and it would shut the LED off. Or if you left it on, it would kill the battery. So I thought I need to rewire it so when I plug it in, it connects and does it. Let me plug it in. I'll move this light. There you go. See that? So that works just by plugging the guitar in and out. So what I want to do, by the way, I had to push in bars on all my Floyds. What I want to do is see that, well, two things. One is I got these, I wanted to put these on, but they won't fit. So I got to do some, now I took the bar out. So now I got to do some fitting to get them in there. I'm going to put the two chrome on there. So let me flip this over and see. I got to take some photos, see how I did that, because I only did it just one time. And I put pure tone jacks in everything that crosses this bench. Mine or customers or the guitars I end up giving away to people. Because it clicks twice. 1, 2. Better fit, and there's 4 contact points instead of just 1. Yeah, I remember I figured this out during the show, and I'd never done it before. Oh, you know what? I forgot about that too. I used Velcro, hold the battery. All right, so we have the bat. Got all this. Hold on. So you guys can see how to do this if you want to do it. Yeah, I forgot I did the Velcro on here. All right, so we have battery, negative going to the negative on the jack, and the positive. Got another one. That came off. Wait a minute. Ain't gonna work without the battery on it. Sure that was right side. Yep. There we go. Okay. All right. So really, that is just wiring the kill switch. We have it jumped from the positive from the jack to the switch, and from the jack to the pot. Then you got ground, same thing, ground from the switch to the pot. No, yeah. Then also another ground going here, and then your battery is grounded and going to the switch. So that's how it is. Let me take a photo of that. MPN, thank you, man. Let me get a photo of this. I remember. I mean, granted, I could have took it apart when I have the other one here, but I figured why not do it on here live so you guys could see how to do it too. So we have negative. The negative is just running to the out jack or input jack, however you want to put it. So we got negative and positive here, like normal, going to the pots, your ground, and then your center lug. Then we jump a ground from here to switch, positive from here to the switch, and the battery is only on that with the ground going to the switch. So when it plugs in, it completes the circuit and lights it up. So there you go. So that's how that's done. But I need to, like I said, I cut that out from the switch. Need to get another one of these. Wow, I didn't shield. Well, painted. Didn't put the tape up in there. Hmm. So I need to grip that back on there a little bit tighter. Off. Still off. It's a little. Here's something else I do too. I always put shrink. That's good. So now, zip this back up. One thing I usually do, but I can't do it right now because I don't have any blue ones. It's just a little, again, a little thing that I do. Um, like this is blue, so I would use a blue tie. I try to match the it doesn't. I mean, it's just call it my OCD, I guess. I had a blue one on here. I cut it off, and now I don't have another blue to replace it. Ogre, what's happening, man? Okay, what I can, well, can't do it right now. I don't think. Can I? So I'm hoping. Well, I had to return the tuners for Laz's giveaway guitar back to StewMac, and according to the tracking number, they received them today. And then once they received them, they were sending out the new set. So hopefully they get here this week, which they should be, considering StewMac's only about 2 hours from me. And then I'm going to go Wednesday up to my buddies, and we're going to wire that super 6-way 28 wiring diagram switch together. Found some old photos. That one. Then you guys have all seen this one. This is the actual photo. Spent a lot of time in the studio over the years. Here is they asked us to do an all ages show. 1990. Oh, here I am in the studio. We were mixing down after we were done. That's after David Lee Roth and Steve Vai was at that studio. You want to talk about? I've said this before on Johnny's show numerous times, but I was in this room in front recording a solo, and I had my back to the wall because that was the producer, Mark. He's also the one kind of working on my new stuff. Um, and it was weird. I had my back to him, and I started playing, and I thought, okay, I need to change this, change it. And all of a sudden, through the headphones, I hear, you can do better than that. And I knew it wasn't Mark. I turned around, and it was Steve Vai. Because Mark ran sound for the Eat 'Em and Smile. So Dave and Steve showed up at the studio that day to talk to him. And then I'm out there trying to record like this with Steve Vai watching. And I asked him if he wanted to do it. He just laughed and said no. Oh, but That machine right there is a Studer, and at this time there was only two of them in the country of that model. This one and the one Eddie had in the 5150 studio. So we recorded on the same machine that they did 5150 on. I'm trying to get my 3D printed parts out of here. Because I also make 9-volt battery holders, but I don't know if that deep. Nope, I got to make it a little bit smaller. Crap. I have to go with the Velcro, but I make these different colors, and this is a different one that will mount in the cavity for active pickup. I made all this. So I have to go with the Velcro again right now. Put that in here. That's why that's too high. Okay. So again, you're just jumping it from the jack to the switch. The battery is just going right here. It's not hooked up anywhere else. You don't have to use the actual switch that comes with it. Because the switch is a flat, I'll show you if I can dig it out. So you really can't mount the switch on the body. It's got to be on the cavity. Maybe. It's a little flat rocker. So, I'd turn it on, sat right in there. Then as you're playing it, you'd hit it and it'd shut off. I thought, I could take it out of this and wire it so when you plug it in, it works then, which is what I ended up doing. Just didn't remember how I did it. But I did do it on the show live on a Saturday night, so it's there. I just don't know which one. So I mean, technically you could drill out and shape it fit on the front of the guitar, but then it's there permanent. Because if you take it out, you're never going to match the crackle. Well, in this case, crackle or whatever paint. But you're going to have that hole there. This, I just need to replace this cover. That's all. And usually, I only use 2 springs, not 3. But sometimes you just can't get 2 to work on certain guitars, and this was one of them. Well, there it is. Yeah, I did have blue. But, yeah, like I said, you can't. Sure that jack. Yep, there you go. Plug in. And when you hit the kill switch, the light does not go out. But unplug it, and it's out. Yeah, so there you can see the 2. I told you the Pure Tone has 2 clicks in twice. So watch. Go light up once, one, go out, then again. So let's see what this putting out. I never did check this one. Custom thing I do here. Get any multimeter. You know, these are from Harbor Freight. They're like $8, and they work fine. And you buy a jack. You just take the prongs off, solder this in, and what you have when you plug this in, then volume down, flip it on. $15.57. That's what that's putting out. Now when I flip it up, just half, middle, these two, then the front. There you go. 1557. And just plug it in. I sent one of these to Dane, but I haven't seen him use it yet. At Zim's Guitars, which I don't know if you see the logo, it's right there. RJ's Cave. I am going to have card or decals made. Ogre Lord, that's a, believe it or not, that is an MJ made Black Winter in blue. But in the photo, dang it, in the photo, the blue looked like it matched this better. So it's a lot lighter blue than it was supposed to, at least what I thought it was going to be. But Grovers, and this guitar was from Bay Area Rich. I don't know if he's in here, but thank you, Rich. And like I said, for those of you who just got here, these are the new neck rest, adjustable and adjustable height-wise. I just leave them up all the way. And you got the little tool holder here for your Allen wrenches or whatever. So I will be giving these away. I make them on my 3D printer. Yeah, I you know, usually he's here. But this was a gift from Bay Area Rich. It came from a Guitar Center somewhere out there by him. And in fact, Rich and Johnny went to see it, and there's a video of Johnny playing this guitar. But it's completely different now. The frets were bad on it. I fixed that. German Floyd pickups, two new pots, USA switch in it, kill switch, different tuners, put the Grover tuners on it. Where, what, the kill switch? That's Tessie switch. That is a Tessie switch, the one of the LED ones. I think you can pretty much get LED in any color. I ordered the blue. And these are those, again, rubber band things that I know it looks like the knob may be on wrong. The knob's right. It's just trying to get that lined up straight all the time. But if you don't want to take your soldering iron and burn into it like they did for Dime, like God, my mind went blank. The guy for Dimebag did, and you can do that. It doesn't slip, you got perfect grip every time. Yeah, that's a Tessie switch, the LED version, which is a big difference from the one that went on Laz's guitar, which is right here. This is more the Van Halen type switch. So, but we have the 6-way. See how that's. Then we got push pulls there. So the combinations you're going to get is going to be unbelievable. Got a 59, a JB. I routed it out so you can sync it down. And then had to drill through and mount that switch and make a cover, 3D cover for it. Finish this side. And then I also marked it with labels. Here's the 59. Here's the JB cable. Here's the switch. And it wouldn't even fit in there. I had to actually cut out some more of the cavity. You look right here, I had to cut out down in there to get the switch to go in there. Look at all those contacts on that. So it's going to be between that and push on both pots. It's going to be on the odd side. So, but what will happen? I did sign it. Congratulations, Ron Gunner, 326 fretwork. And then I did do the neck and the frets, which is right here. The neck was, the headstock was red. I left the red in there just to tie the body in with that. Put a new logo on it, satin finished, so you can't, it looks like it's factory. Red paint still in there. It doesn't matter. You won't see them. I did put a Fretworks decal on the back. And then basically had to redo the frets because they were terrible. So now, rip, before I went like that one time, and just shredded both finger and thumb. And I got them this way, but basically redid everything. Nice and rounded and polished. No fret polish at all. No metal, no flits or any of that stuff. That was all done by sandpaper. Which, I don't know. Right here, these. That is a wide. You have wide, medium, narrow, and extra wide. You got all the, there's the medium, the extra wide. And they're made to fit the fret. See down there. All you do is just do that with the sandpaper. And there's no no fret polish. You don't need to use the fretboard protector. You don't have to break out a Dremel tool, which I haven't had to use these now for 6 months. Or no, 4 months. Where I went through, about 12 of these. Yeah, on a 24 fret neck, I went through 12. I'd get 2 frets on each one of these. Plus, I used flits and then a diamond polish, clear up to 100,000 grit right here. Hold on, sorry about that. Clear up to 100,000 grit. And it comes out kind of like it's not, you'd have to put it on, then you'd also have to dampen it with a little bit of water. And needless to say that it went all over me, all over everything here. And then with these, I start out, depending on how bad the frets are, you can start out at 400. So if I do, it'll be 400, 800, 1200, 2000, 3000, 5000, 7000, then which is purple, 7000, and finish it off with 10,000. And then
That's what they look like. Absolutely no marks on them. Look like mirrors. There's no, you slide it, you don't even feel it. And there's no mess. So, I don't know. I have got 16 necks hanging back here on the wall, but three of them aren't mine. That one you just saw, I have one for Rich for Rat, I have one for Dane's guitar. So 13 necks are mine, and three of them are theirs. But yeah, you use this, but get to use it. Then when it gets dirty, just crank the handle a little bit to the new part. Rides right in there, nice and polished. So that's the cool thing to do. And the new style of these is right here. So you don't have to. And Mr. Mick, if you're still here, I get these working. I'll send you some. You can just roll the sandpaper up, slide it in this way, and it's good to go. You don't have to take this off. It goes in from one end. This I think is 3,000 or 5,000. So what it's nice to have is it's nice to have, like, if you have wide, which most guitars today are, have like four of these with the different grits on them. That way you don't have to worry about changing it. Just change the grit. Just change grab the next one with the other grit on it. A lot nicer. A lot nicer. So again, push in. I love the push in bars because you have the on your screw on. Unless you make it super tight to where it doesn't move, when you hit it, there's a little bit of play before the trembling moves. With the push in ones, watch. I don't know how well you see that, but the minute you touch it, it starts. There's no play whatsoever. So, so there you go for that. I have to take the strings out and get these to fit these two. I want to put the chrome ones in here. I couldn't find that color blue. The was a darker than this, so that wouldn't work. But I thought with everything chrome, this here, I could put the chrome covers on it. So I got to do a little shaving on the inside to get them to go on. But yeah, I will be giving away these. They will have that PSG on the side. Again, that's either his company channel or his initials. But I'm not breaking any rules by printing them out, giving them away. That's like this one. I was using this one. I still use this one. It doesn't have the slide, so it stays up on top. There's no tray, but there's no initials on it. And I'm a friend, a fan of yellow and black. Steelers, DeWalt tools, and my Hummer is yellow and black. Mr. Mick, you can just go on Reverb. And it's super easy to put in, man. I put one on here. Just take the other one out, and you'll put this. You're gonna take the bar out, tap it in, one bolt. There you go. Pushes in. You can adjust it right there with a 2 millimeter Allen wrench to make it tighter. Some people want them, loose. Some people want them so they hardly move. but it's just so much nicer. And there's no, absolutely no play. Doesn't you touch it, tremolo moves. And they're a chrome. Well, you can get them on Amazon too. The chrome one is like $19. Black one's 21. There's a satin chrome, and I think it's $19. Just put in Floyd Rose push-in bar on the search. Again, this has got the red in it to go with the guitar. Kind of got this thing going. So actually, this guitar normally sells this cream. This is a Pacer Classic series. They sell for just like $375, I think, right around the 375 area. Then tax and all, so you're looking right around the $400 mark. Laz got that one like a half price deal, and then all the upgrades. That switch, that 6-way switch alone was $80. And then he's got $80 just in these 6 saddles, $20 in this, 35 in that. I donated stainless steel hardware. Get a couple hundred in pickups. What else? The switch, the push pull pots. I think $80 for the tuner. So all in all, that guitar is going to be right around $1,000, and he's going to give it away to someone who's a subscriber to Music Therapy Laz. But here's the best part. He wants to make it fair for everybody. So when he gives it away, you have to be a subscriber, and it's going to be a that night be a subscriber only show. So whoever's in the only way you're gonna get in the chat is being a subscriber. Yeah, and then and he'll pick the winner then, and how he's doing it is you have to be to actually win that guitar. You have to be in the continental United States because of shipping and all that stuff. He shipped stuff before out of country and it never got there. So he doesn't want that to happen to that guitar. So if you are a winner and you're out of the country, what he's going to do is whatever country you're in, a music store around you, he'll buy a guitar there for you to pick up. It won't be that guitar, but you'll still get it for free. But if you're in the continental United States, then you got a chance to get that guitar. And it's not going to cost you anything. It doesn't cost you to subscribe, and he's paying shipping. So you're getting basically $1,000 guitar for nothing. You can't beat that. And Billy Ray, for my new channel here, when I hit 500 subscribers, Billy Ray is going to give away a guitar for me. So thank you, Billy Ray, and good luck to everybody there. Be careful, Lewis. So yeah, there you go. I just enjoy doing this, everybody. That's all. And you guys are great here in the chat. So that's cool. Lewis might be back if we're still on for a while. So yeah, these titanium, which I don't know how well you'll see them here, they are blue. They're like a lighter blue. And the only place I found them was Soul Drifter Guitars, Australia. And it took like 5 weeks to get them. but they sell these in gold, blue, silver, black, red, green, I think. And now they have that burnt chrome rainbow looking one. I have two guitars that have them on. This one, and I'll show you the other one. Hold on. Back. This was actually the first set I bought was the red ones. There. And what I do, I color in Lloyd Rose. Again, that has nothing to do, obviously, with performance, but it's just a little thing that I do. Same way with the red line on the Fishmans and all the red hardware. What I did do here, though, is I like skulls. So this is actually a cap for a tire. Air cap for your air on a rim. And what I had to do was shave down the actual knob that was on here, then lock it in place, and then put a little bit of glue and thread that on that cap, and then have it stop where I wanted it. And I can still take it off the guitar, but and we got this is Fishman's push pull, both of them. The red hardware and the red Soul Drifter titanium. 30. So and this one I also did red up here. And I have the Grovers on that. I love this guitar. So I have this one with Fishman's. I have Charvel soloist with EMGs, and then my Jackson camo soloist. I put the black Seymour Duncan blacks in it. Another thing I do, again, it's just nothing performance wise, but there are guitars that I get sick of black on all of them. So I'll change color under here to kind of match the guitar or match the hardware, something like that. Just a little thing I do. I had purple for Laz's brother guitar when I did that. Is that purple BC Rich I did over right before Christmas. I had purple for it. I stuck it on there. Didn't stick it in. Just cut it and put it in place. They didn't like it. They wanted it black. I put black back in it. This one's still black because of the contrast, but I have a green, has green in it. I put purple on my rainbow, which I'll show you. I even did this on the rainbow in a rainbow style. Hold on. Billy Ray liked this because he's got this same guitar now. And that blue crackle was here. I had silver underneath the tremolo on that. So I don't know how the light shows it. There's a little bit of pink here and here, fades into a purple. So I went with purple underneath, and then the Floyd Rose I kind of did in the rainbow color. And I put stainless steel in here. Um, Although I'm thinking about going with that burnt chrome look, just kind of multicolored. So it's just little stuff I do, a little bit different, kind of make them mine. But that's one thing about Crackle paint jobs that a lot of people don't realize. There's no two Crackle paint jobs the same. Now, as far as color wise on this, when they paint these rainbow crackles, you ever seen them beforehand, before the crackles applied, they all have green, green, yellow, pink, and then purple down the middle, stripes. Then the crackle put on is black and it cracks. So even though the colors are the same, the crackle finish is going to be different on every one. You cannot duplicate crackle finish, not unless you do it as a wrap. Like you print one, you get one that you like, image it, and then use it as a wrap. Then on, that's the only way. But if you're actually spraying the crackle on, you'll never get two the same ever. So yeah, but like I said, I put the purple back here. Sounds like there's a spilling every time I do that. So I put purple on this one. I got an orange one that's got orange. I got one that's got gold. One that's got green. So there we go. Well, thank you, Creating with Love. That's cool. Thank you very much. We're launching the, I've had this channel for a couple years now, but I never really did live stuff until last few months. And then I never really took it seriously to do it all the time until now. I was kind of forced into doing this myself. So yeah. But I like to do little stuff like this, that makes it mine. That's like I'll get the rain, or not the rainbow, and the Mad, what's up, brother? The camo one, I mean, most people know by now because I showed it on Johnny's show a number of times. But the camo pattern on the camo Jackson Soloist is the same because it's not an actual paint job; it's a wrap they just cleared over. So every one of them is the same. And what I did for mine, in case it ever got stolen, was right up here. I added another black spot. Then when I cleared over the guitar, you can't tell that I added it. It was just right. So if it ever gets stolen, that's the one difference on mine than the other one. So yeah, these guitars are gorgeous. This, believe it or not, I don't know if Rich ever showed up. This is from Bay Area Rich too. I actually got 3 Jacksons from Bay Area Rich. This one, blue one. Then he sent me one that's going that I worked on. It's going to be given away to some kid or a vet, guitars for veterans, something like that. And it's a 1990, 91 Jackson Performer made in Japan. I'll show it here. It was, well used. here. But it's got the old school Jackson pickups in it, because the first thing I was going to do was change these out. So I plugged it in. This is a Jackson Performer. I added the green up here around there. Tie that in with the body. So it's a Performer something S1, made in Japan. Everything clipping on this thing sounds like. So I still have a little bit of work to do on this, but I was shocked when I plugged this in, because I was thinking of the Jackson pickups they use today were nothing like the ones they used in the 80s and early 90s, because those sounded killer. And when I plug this in and hit it, it's like, oh my God, these are those. This is like the last version of the good Jackson pickups. I was going to route this out, put a Floyd in it. I thought, no, pretty green. Got some, chips, things in it. Going to work on those a little bit. But this guitar is going to go to some kid or a veteran. A nice switch. Here, I did that pot. That's what I was talking about. What they used to do for dime. Grady, that's who it was when Grady did it for dime. And everybody's like, well, how'd you get it just like that? Well, what I did was I took the soldering iron and actually had it flat. Then I had the pot resting on something. I don't even know what I use now. And that way it didn't variate. I didn't go up or down. It stayed straight. And then I just turned it, turned it. That's why they're all straight like that. But I didn't want to do that on all the guitars. So that's when I found those rubber band. They're not really rubber bands, but they're like basically a rubber band. Goes around those that you don't have to do this and they don't slip. But yeah, Rich got this one for me, and then the other two were gifts for me. This one is a gift to finish up, get it to somebody. So it's a made in Japan Jackson Performer. I also put the green here too. Those are metal instead of the plastic. So usually when you tighten these, if you tighten them too much, you'll pop the plastic out. You can get these. They're on Reverb, Tone something. Sells both these. These ones and that, and they're in red, blue, green, red, green. Let me check. Tell you in a second. And they're not that expensive either. They're like I have some saved here. Tone Ninja. Here's an 8-piece set. Yeah. There's an 8-piece set. And what this is these round ones here for the post. That is this metal thing hitting the workbench. But here's an 8-piece set right there in blue for $8. $8.32. They're Tone Ninja on Reverb. You can get those and the little ones that go underneath the peg head itself. Those are only like $6. Yeah, here's just another 8 set. Yeah. Yeah, so it's $8.32 for 8 set of those. Green. But again, Tone Ninja. And they're metal. So you can tighten it up and not worry about cracking them like do the plastic. Hey, lads, I was just showing the guitar and the tremolo with the red on it now. RJ. So yeah, this is a nice guitar. You know, it's what, 36 years old now. So I need to polish the frets with those. I need to polish the frets. I'll set the neck right. I thought there was one other. I thought there was three things I got left to do to this. But yeah, made in Japan. Somebody's going to be happy. Again, I have some work on these to get these to fit that blue one. I will be giving these away with the parts holder. So if you work with something with a Floyd, man, it works great right there. I only have one more fretwork decal except one on the. Oh, Laz, here is the capacitor. A little bit different. So there you go. All right. With that said, let me switch cameras. I'll go to the desk, and I'll be right with you. Let me grab my crane grape motion spray. Okay, can you hear me on that one? All right, hold on. So that's what I'm going to have to do. I'm going to have to get another cloud lifter. Switch cameras. Here we are. There we go. Put that back on. That's down. There we go. All right. Let's see what I miss here. Cool. Yeah, last so I was showing the Floyd what all was done to it, and how everything's going on it. So tomorrow I have to go get both my knees x-rayed. So Wednesday I'm going up to Tim's, and him and I are going to figure that switch out together. And I'm hoping to do a little video that I'll post on. I can't go live because inside that place is the internet's terrible. But I could film a little bit and then go from there. So anybody you buy anything from Floyd, actual Floyd, the back of the package always has this. So keep that. And it's funny because this thing right here, this is that piece of crap shim, right? Where's that? That shim right there. In between the block and the spring, take that out, throw it over the hill. You don't need it. Yeah, I got a scar up my back this far, about 12 inches, and I have to have another back surgery apparently. and I have to have both knees completely replaced. So I know this back surgery, when the nerve block wore off, oh my God, the pain from that. That was really, really bad. The shim is actually put there because it's not completely centered on the block. It sticks out the back and it works up against the springs to tighten the spring tension up. That's what it's actually there for. But you don't need it. What it does, it's another layer in between the tremolo and the block. So it takes away, it actually takes away a little bit of tone, and it also the resonance of the guitar. So you take the spring, you take that shim out, and you get to go in. The screws go into the block that much farther. It feels better and sounds better, but it's actually there. I mean, this doesn't show it that well. But if you look at it, you'll see the holes are towards the front, and the block right under it. So the back part of it sticks out almost in line with the spring above it. And it's to help tension, to make that stronger. But if your Floyd is set up right, you don't need it. Like, have you ever had a problem with your Randy Rhoads one, Laz, since you did it? Yeah, the tone is better. Greasy. You know what? I never looked. Did you take it out of the mirrored one, or is it still in there? If it's still in there, I gotta take it out. I can't tell. Later, searching. Thank you, man. Thanks. So, for those of you who don't know, I bought this off of Greasy Monkey Guitars. Just what, about less than 2 months ago, month and a half ago, maybe. This has been one that I've wanted since they came out, and Greasy made me a deal that I couldn't refuse. I know about them deals. So yeah. So yeah, this is a beautiful guitar. The logo that's actually etched in the glass, not not glued on there. All mirrored, all black back. Beautiful guitar. Plays great. Love it. Absolutely love it. So thank you, Greasy. Although one thing I'm doing on all these guitars, and it does performance wise, it has nothing to do with it. It's all of a sudden, for years, I just wanted the metal knobs. Okay, for years, wanted them. Now, within the last 4 months, yeah, I would say right around Thanksgiving, I started going with the flat top ones. So now I've been changing them all out to the flat top, and I like that feel better. I don't like the hump on. I know it's stupid, but just me, personal preference, which comes in handy because now I got all these regular metal knobs, uh, black chrome with the dome on them, which I can use for all these other guitars. Oh, I love this guitar, man. Imagine that on stage. I don't go on stage anymore. Haven't done it in years, but I know the camera kind of corrects it. Really can't see, but the black light, the yellow, orange on the rainbow crackle is really standing out. And that orange one right there is like glowing, but the camera's trying to correct it. So you really can't tell. Be good, Laz. What on the mirror? It's a mirror. It's an actual. It's a mirror. Well, Mick Mars did that. He had the Telecaster mirrored one with the Kramer neck on it that he played live. How many times? Hey, Laz, if you're still here, wait. I don't know if you saw this or not, but this was from Mr. Mike, Mr. Wood. By the way, that yellow guitar with the nuclear logo in the middle, that guitar, I know some of you guys probably watch his show. 40 Grit owns that guitar now. I actually traded that to Dane. I mailed it to Dane in Arizona, and I traded it for one of these crackles. I'm not sure which one. Plus, Dane gave me a guitar and some cash because that was a Korean-made BC Rich gunslinger. And I had redone the frets on it, and he wanted it because he's a big fan of BC Rich's, and he was gonna. He told me he was gonna hold on to it, but he had it for maybe 2 months, and then 40 Grit lives there too, and 40 went in and I guess he threw cash on the table and Dane sold it to him. So 40 now owns that guitar. Thank you, Ogre. Yeah, Mr. Wood made that for me. Um, we got there's a bunch of stuff going to happen here. I'm going to be doing pulling frets off, refretting the guitars for you, and then I got that new professional paint booth now. So when I'm able to start painting guitars, weather permitting, the way the exhaust fan works on that is, spraying towards the front. The whole wall was nothing but filters. The exhaust fan will be over, so everything goes up, nothing's coming out. So now I could set up a camera so you can actually watch me painting the guitars or clearing them. Routing, I'll be able to have a camera out there now when I do routing for the Floyds. Going to be a bunch of stuff. Not just because when I was doing it on Johnny's show, I only had 2 hours, 3 hours, and then we were sharing the screen, so I kind of had to pick and choose what I worked on because I want to try to get it done in that time allotment, and then I obviously couldn't do any painting, although I did put the green splatter on Alex's guitar. Which what I do? I left the phone over there. Hold on. Be right back. I didn't actually do it on the camera because I couldn't, but I did step out of the room over to the utility room and actually put this green splatter on this guitar during a show. Oh, wait a minute.
I know it looks yellow, but it's green. So Alex is in California. I did this one for him, Alex Radford. Uh, did the paint, and then I put two new pickups in it they were Duncan Design pickups, but I had rewound them all, so they just had the Duncan Design logo on, but they weren't. Uh, had to really do the frets and fretboards on this. Backstage, be good. Be careful, brother. So, yeah. So that, well, I don't know. I got it. So Alex, if you look at Radford Studios here on YouTube, he did an unboxing and he plays it all the time. So he wanted the same kind like I did on my King V. He wanted the Predator / Alien Blood. So, but I actually did the green on it over in the other room. But I had to take outside for the clear. So I do plan on doing a bunch of stuff that I couldn't do before on camera. You know, two reasons: time allotment, and it wasn't my show, and then also I couldn't do anything out as far as the painting because I didn't have the filter system I have now. So, matter of fact, these glasses got ruined. I had to get another pair. Uh, I wasn't thinking about it when I was doing the King V. Matter of fact, because I'd sanded it all the way down and then sprayed it black again because the black it was on it was tore up. Hold on here. So I sprayed it black again, and I did it wearing these glasses, and I didn't think about it till it was too late. And it was black lacquer. And what sucked is it got on them and then just kind of like dried instantly. So there's now a fog around the axle. These are those glasses because I was out in the garage working today on stuff. But I got the middles somewhat clean. But there's like a cloud around the edges all the way around them. Okay, so yeah, here it is. This is when I ruined the glasses. When I did just the black on it. And then, yeah. So it was originally black, and I redid the black because I wanted a good shine on it. That's black lacquer. Then what I did actually is the painting fixture that I have now. It holds the body. It bolts in place like a neck would be, so it holds the body like you're playing the guitar, and I can spin it around this way and this way. So what I did after I sprayed it black, I let it dry, then I lightly sanded it with like I think 1500 or 2000, and then I took the green, which it looks yellow but it's actually green, and literally poured it on top of the guitar and let it run down. And then the spots, I flicked it with the toothbrush, well, actually a paintbrush. Then after that dried, I put the after that dried, I put the clear on it over everything. You can see where I got green on the table from dropping it on. Literally poured it on it. Yeah, these are all hold on. These are all paint jobs I've done. Lots of guitars. Yeah, I turned this one. Guy wanted it relicked. This was February 2024. He came in with that and said, "Hey, can you make this pink and look like it's had the crap plate out of it?" So, after scraping the finish off with a heat gun and a putty knife, here's all of the finish after it was off the guitar. And the guitar looked like this. I just wanted to stain it, like multi-stain it and clear it. He didn't want it. But it ended up I did the paint. Was sanding it and doing all the stuff to it. But it ended up turning out really cool. And it hung in the store for I don't know how long. It had professional photos taken of it. Hold on. I know it doesn't show that much on that one. But when I relic them like they've actually been played. I've seen people do it where they just randomly sanded. Come on, focus. You can see. Hold on. And then there's the bottom, and actually, there's where the strap would be more than the rest. So yeah, it turned out really good. This is before I cleared it again. I actually ended up I was like, dude, let's do some more relicking. So yeah, that's what it turned out like. Let me zoom in on that a little bit. I put some more spots in it. It's a shell pink. So yeah. Car guts. Hey man. One up you on the Guitar Mafia. Oh, come on, man. Yeah, the tortoise shell. Yeah, he had a an idea for that. He's like, "Hey, I want this guitar done." And that was actually the first one I ever relicked. Because I well, you see the shape all mine are in. Even the ones I played on in the band for 9 years and took on tour still look like new or really close to new. And he knew I was like that. He's like, "Well, I want this if you'll do it." He's like, "I want it relic if you'll do it." He's like, "I know you have a problem making them look like they're beat up." And so I did it. And then when I took it back to, well, I can show it to you. I took it back to him. There's pictures of him in here holding it when he got it back. Get out of there. Hold on. Focus. And then, he's like, okay, this is what we agreed on price wise. I'm like, yeah. So he goes, all right, I'll PayPal it to you. And he goes, okay, it's done. And, I never thought about it. I got home and look, here he gave me $150 more than we agreed on because he was so freaking happy with it. Yeah, like, you can see the back. So what I make them look like is they've been played and relic, but they're also still clean and shiny. Like, yeah, it's relic, but I still like to take care of it. So he freaking loved it, and he's like, man, that's crazy. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I matter of fact, I called him. I said, "Did you mess up?" He goes, "What?" I said, "You sent $150 more than we agreed on." He's like, "Dude, that's better than anything I expected." He said that was what I was visioning in my head. He goes, "It was worth it." He goes, "Keep it as a bonus." I was like, "Cool, thank you." So the guitar mafioso. Well, man, my uncle Green Mancini ran the mob from Youngstown to Canton, Ohio. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and then he retired. So thank you, Lewis. Oh, Garguts? Yeah, you want to use, well, you don't want the red one. You want the Mesa stack, the oversized rectifier. You can see about 8 inches taller than the regular 412 stack, and it's about 4 inches wider. And then the second angle down, the second amp down, is 150 watts of pure brutality metal. So there you go. You can use all that if you ever come over this way. You just got to help me carry it out of here and then back because the amp head is like 90 pounds and the cabinets are like 120 each. But that second, well, both of them, the first one's 100 watt or 120 watt. It's Powerball 2. I think it's 100 watt. But that 150 watt one right there, man, I can't crank it up. Honest to God, I can't even turn it to 2 without it rattling this whole house. That's kind of cool, man. So yeah, like I said, there's going to be a lot of stuff on here. I'll be able now to take a camera out while I'm doing the painting or the clear coating, and while I'm out there, if I have to do any routing, I'll be able to show that live. Um, like when I did CC's guitar, there's a couple short videos. They're shorts more or less. Like when I drilled the hole for the kill switch on CC's guitar, which if you guys don't know, CC was always in the chat in Johnny's and in Laz's, but I haven't seen him since November. But I had he had a guitar he actually bought and let Johnny have it for a year. Then he had um, Johnny give it to Laz, and Laz had it for 2 years and tore it apart. And they wanted it painted, so Laz sent it to me, and then CC sent all the stuff for it. So it also was a white Kramer Beretta, and I marked it, masked it off, and I did it. We did a little different thing. Didn't really copy any of the actual Van Halen guitars, but I kind of took some from a couple and made it work. And then another thing I did different. He's like, well, because the whole idea was how could a young teenager get this guitar for a couple $100 and turn into an Eddie guitar without having a lot of money into it. And I said, well, the first thing, they're all about the stripes and stuff on the front. And if it's a kid, he might not worry about the back. I said, so let's just do the front half of the guitar, which CC agreed to. And then I had to drill the hole to put the kill switch in. And, it's a Kramer Beretta, so it had one knob, one pickup. I put a 3-way switch in it and a kill switch. And it's wired up with 2 different capacitors. So when you have the switch all the way back, it's just the bare pickup. Put it in the middle, it's still that bare pickup with 1 capacitor. Shove it to the front, it's that pickup with the other capacitor. So you get 3 different sounds out of 1 pickup. But I mean, I got all the tools out in the garage where, do all the drilling and everything. I thought, well, 15 or, teenager may not have all that. So I did a couple shorts on this channel showing how I did it. Now I did the slot for the 3-way switch with a drill bit and then a X-Acto knife, trimmed it out, then drilled the 2 holes for the screws. But this is what we ended up with. That was right before I packaged it up and sent it back to CC, who never actually had the guitar ever. And I did it. Nothing on it was actually perfect. It's like I made everything on this guitar was done on purpose, like little scratches and the lines faded like that and bled through. That was all done on purpose. And then I put the red beak knob on it. So all those scratches, it's like because Eddie never had one that was perfect. But the neat part, if you look here, the 5150 logo, all that scratching underneath the clear, that was all on purpose. But that logo was sticking on top the guitar. There's so much clear on there, you don't feel that decal. It's completely level. But I sanded down to get some of it wore off. So turned out pretty good. But I don't know if I can, there's a picture of there's the back. The back has no stripes on it. That's my paint jig. I can spin it around, turn the guitar this way and this way. There's the headstock. So it was purposely built to look like it was very well used. And then the wiring, you can see the 2 different capacitors. One's not, it's like a flat orange drop. Then there's a big vitamin T one in there. They're both wired to the switch and to each side of the pickup. So you either have the pickup by itself or one or the other capacitors, not both of them together. And it's a 3-way switch. USA switch in it. So it turned out pretty cool. Matter of fact, here's how I wired it. Because I had to figure that out. So if anybody wants to stop the video and screenshot that, if you want to do that to one of your own guitars with 1 pickup, there you go. 1 pickup and a 3-way switch. I will say this though, both capacitors that CC sent in were the same. They were both 22s. So I only had 1 different capacitor, which wasn't that much different. I had, since then have bought more. But yeah. That was right before I put it in the box and shipped to him. Okay, Laz actually gave him a case for it. Yeah, you can see down here at the bottom where I wore, get rid of the black around the edges. I put the scratches in. I did everything just so it looked like it was a road worn guitar. Steve, I will see you later. RJ, you didn't see this one. Hold on. Or maybe you did. MPN's Cosmo. That's the front. And here's the back. Like looking through the Hubble telescope. And then I'll do layouts like this for the Floyd. I'll do all that stuff here live on the show and show you guys how to do it and answer any questions you may have. Or if you have ideas of how you guys do it, it's different, please let me know. But again, I want to get you guys in the chat, on the show every now and then. I want to turn this into something that's educational and fun. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah. Well, Laz, I plan on doing that. I'm planning on going up Wednesday because I got to have X-rays and stuff done tomorrow. And then, like I said, I'm going to take some video of us working on it, and then I'll have to put a diagram out. Like when I did Michael B's guitar, I actually sent him a paper showing what combinations do what on the pickup. Thank you, Jim. Yeah, I got RJ. I could show you so many paint jobs. From candy colors to custom. You did see my King V there with the Predator blood on it, didn't you? I did that last year. That one. So, and the Hall of Flash, I do those. I've done Crackle. Done pretty much everything. Yeah, Peggy. Like I said, now, I mean that. My yes, that's a King V, Lewis. My cousin paid $4,000 for this paint booth. It's 4 foot by 5 foot. So it's 4 foot wide. The two walls are 5 foot. It's 8 feet high and got a crazy strong exhaust fan and LED light, all 220 volt. So he bought it because he does 3D printing. He was doing medical stuff like prosthetics and all that kind of stuff. And they painted, I think he said 3 times they used it, 2 or 3 times. He said, I know 2, possibly 3. And then they found a guy who would take their stuff right when they're done cleaning it up he'll take it and paint it, and they can get it done cheaper. And then they didn't have to worry about all the EPA stuff because it was big business. So a couple weeks ago, they came down from Columbus, and we went to the indoor shooting range, and we spent like 6 hours that day at the range, and went out afterwards, and we were sitting there talking, and he's my second cousin. His dad's my cousin. So his dad said something about the guitar painting, and I said, "Yeah." I said, I said, "I would love to be able to get a paint booth for the garage to elevate it." And then his son was sitting there, and he goes, "Well, hold on." He sent me the picture. He's like, "I have this right here." Because this is it exactly. He said, "And we've only used it twice, maybe 3 times, and now we ship everything out to get painted." I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "So it just," he goes, "As a matter of fact, we got tore down. It's just sitting there." I said, "What do you want for it?" He goes, "You want it, you can have it. Just come get it." So I had to rent a truck and go to Columbus and pick it up. So I got it for free. I got it out in the garage now, and it looks like that. It still looks like brand new. So that's going to elevate the paint jobs now, which would be a lot better. So I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, Lewis, that was a King V. And then I'm going to do something to this. This is actually one of my favorite guitars to record with. I did draw with a Sharpie marker the skull on there, and even the blood is also Sharpie marker. So I did draw that on there, and I've had different skulls on here over the past couple years. At one time, I had a bigger one right here, and then one up here, and they were kind of like yelling at each other. And the reason I do it with the marker is I can just take the alcohol and wipe it off if I don't like it. And I want to put them on there and see what I think about them, not just a day or two after I do them, but a month later. Do I still like it? Do I still want it? So when that comes, then I'll do it right and then be able to clear over top of it. So I thought about doing it. Then I thought about, okay, no skulls, do it a real deep purple metallic, just the top. So I don't know. I'm going to do something this. I'm not going to paint the back because it's a neck through. Everything's white, so it's just going to be this front top. But I got the chrome. Everything's chrome on it. So I added a kill switch to this too. And everybody's like, "Why do you put it there? Put it up here." Well, I look at it this way. Where I'm going to hold it like George Harrison. So if I'm playing, I don't want to take my hand and go up here to find it. Okay, I can do that. So now I can just do like this. I can't do it holding it that way. Now I can just this, play it, and hit it right there. I don't have to go up here or even back here. It just hit right there. So that's why I put it there on that one, and I put it in this spot on the King V. And then on the Blue Crackle, it's back here because that one I'm always doing this, pulling it back, so I can just hit it right there. So I put them where I'm going to, where they're more natural. And then I thought about putting one on here, but in order to do it, I would have to drill completely through. I'd have to put it like right here when that would be in the way. That's too close to put it there. And if I put it up here, that's defeating the purpose for me. So this probably won't have one. Won't end up never having one. But that one, well, that's based off of a Strat, but it's based off of a Strat, but it's completely, custom. Because the back, well, I'll show you. It's a bigger body. It's a bigger body than a Strat. Um, you can see here, this is straight instead of curved. So this isn't. It's not like he took a Strat body and made this. He actually made this completely. So you can see the back how it's. This was made by J Frog. So it's a little bit different. But all that stuff is hand carved. And it's physically bigger than a regular Strat body. Without stick. Yeah, when you grab this, you got to play docking. So, yeah, and it's um, this one takes. It's kind of weird to get used to at first because again, this isn't flat. None of this is flat. It's all. So when you're putting your arms over it, your forearm, it just feels weird. But after a little bit, after a half hour with it, you're like, wow. And then what really throws people off is my flat neck. And that is flat. That's completely flat in the back. I showed that before. Do it again. That's completely flat. All the way from here clear down to there. The whole way of the neck is completely flat. See edge there and up here, which is great because my thumb rides that edge the whole time. That is completely flat. I wish all these guitars had this flat neck. No, this one's actually made by the guy who made George's. The Firefly, when you can't do none of this stuff, you can't. I mean, look, I can put my fingers in it. So, yeah, this was actually made by J Frog. I told him I didn't want the all white one like it was on the "It's Not Love" video. I kind of like the Dream Warriors one. I said, but not exactly. And I wanted the skulls on it instead of the dots. So it's kind of a hybrid. It's leaning towards the Dream Warriors one more than the clean one, but it's not an exact copy of the Dream Warriors one. But I did like I did. I took the Screaming Demon off and put the White Invader on because I like the white and black contrast. Like I said last week, that actually sits on the body. It's not in a cavity. So you got to make sure you got to pick up that's really sealed, waxed, and everything. And there's no adjustment on it. What you get right there is what you get height wise, unless you want to cut a block, put under it, and then go through the block. So, but there's no cavity around it, no shielding around it. So there you go. I love it. I wish, I wish all these guitars had that flat neck. Garguts, man, if you ever come to Ohio and play, you got to try that. I think you'll be amazed. I really do. I think you'll be amazed at what that feels like. Because when people first play it, when they first grab it, they're like, what? The neck's flat. Then within 5 minutes, they're like, holy crap, I want a flat neck. And it was just an idea I had. I was sitting here one night and I was playing. I went through stages. Um, I like the thinner necks anyhow. And I went through stages. When I ordered in 87, when I ordered my 1987 ESP M1 Custom, which is in that one photo of me with the crowd behind me. I've always been a big guy. I used to be a football player and weightlifter. So I got meaty hands. And I said, when I ordered that guitar, they're like, well, I said, I want thin as possible neck from front to back, but wider from top to bottom. Not as much as a classical guitar, but more than you normally would put on it. And they made it that way. And they got the Floyd on it. And they had to custom make the nut. That was 1987. And the nut on that guitar were well, back then, I don't know what they were. Now you could buy a new nut for $50. But for them to make that nut special, just the nut alone on this guitar cost me $150 in 1987. That was it. You can't see it. It's really like a competition yellow, but the camera's changing it. The ESP M1 Custom. And I had a yellow Seymour Duncan MJ, made that one. But when I got that neck, I told him I wanted it thin, so it was thin. And then, there was my Ripley when I was in the studio, one of the studio times. I wish I still had that guitar. I don't. Oh wait, here's a different picture of the ESP. It still doesn't show the color. I mean, it's literally a competition yellow. That was our singer's birthday party. We played a birthday party for him. And matter of fact, that guy right there with me, that was our second bass player and the one that was in the band the longest. So that was probably 1990, I'm going to say, actually. And this was last year when he came here to record some with me. You can see we aged well. And that was over in the cabin side of the basement. So then the other bass player, the one you have heard on my music, that was me and him there. That's this guy. And as a matter of fact, he's coming up again this month at the end of this month so we can record some more. He was the first and original bass player. But some issues, he had to quit. There's our article sharing a page with Lita Ford. So, here's another one, the ESP. It's in the case. Okay, the very bottom of that, that's closer to the color of the whole guitar. I wish to God I still had that guitar. I regret that. Rock Daddy. So sitting here one day with thinking about how thin that neck was, and then looking at some of these, I thought, wonder what a flat neck would be like. Which was, years ago, because I've had that guitar for 20, 20 years, something like that. But anyhow, when I ordered it, I said, "Hey, you want the thick neck, thin neck?" I said, "I want thin, but let's make it flat on the back." He's like, "What?" I said, "Yeah, flat, completely flat on the back of the neck." So he did it, and that's it, and I freaking love it. But it freaks people out when I don't tell them, and they grab it that first time because you're expecting to feel the whole neck in the palm of your hand, and it's like you feel it here and here, and there's a gap right there. They're like, "What the?" Then after 5 or 10 minutes, they're like, "Man, this is freaking awesome." So that's another thing I'm going to do on this channel is build a guitar from scratch. I'm going to glue the boards up, cut them out, route it out. We're going to do the whole thing. And that'll be a series on here. That probably won't be a live show. That'll just be a series of videos. But the live shows will be just like this, talk about stuff, go to the bench. And again, a lot more stuff. You're going to see the painting, you're going to see the routing, you're going to see me doing fret job, pulling frets off, putting new ones on, all kind of stuff. Stuff that I didn't get to do on Johnny's show because time limit and then split screen. So, but you'll see him here. And like I said, I did sign up for this EV Mux or whatever it's called, however you say it. And so far, I'm really liking it. And I'm on 1440 as far as resolution right now. But Wednesday, when the new camera comes, I'll be able to go to the full H4K. So then I'm going to take this camera and put it over the bench, and that leaves me that camera extra for something else. So I might end up putting that one out in the garage towards the paint booth once it's all set up. I worked out in the garage today. And once I get back from getting my knees and stuff looked at tomorrow in the x-rays, I'm going to go back out in the garage. I'm hoping to have that paint booth up, with luck, within 2 weeks. But if I can get it up at least by, and this is adding, tripling, if I can get it up by the end of April, that would be perfect. Because like I said, I have to do a little bit of work on if I put it in the corner, it's got a big elbow vent that comes off of it. So if I put it in the corner of the garage roof comes down this way. So I either got to go straight up through the roof, or I'm going to have to make the elbow, leave the elbow like it is, but bring it down closer to the roof of the paint booth, and then run it that way out through a window. So I got to hook it up a little bit. So it's not just like bolting it together and starting. I got to get the whole filter system in it. So. Oh, all right. Good night, Lewis. Thank you. So yeah, it's going to be. There's a lot of stuff that's coming up on here. And like I said, I'm retired, so I can do it anytime. I can do as many shows as needed. And then for those, Rock Daddy, you weren't here. So I'm going to show it this again. It's 30 seconds. So if you've seen it before, sorry. But for those who didn't see it, Mr. Mike Wood did this for me, and it's the intro for the show. So here you go. So thumbs up to Mr. Wood for that one. I don't even know who was this. The keep forgetting chats on this. So Lewis was top chatter. Yeah, see, I can see all this stuff now where I couldn't see it before. Cool. Thank you, Rocky. Thank you, man. Yeah. Uh, yeah. Mr. Wood did that for me. And for doing it, I gave him my Van Halen shirt that came from the Alex Van Halen auction. So so I said, you make me something really cool. And then I said, for doing it, I'll give you this shirt. And he jumped on, which the shirt will fit him, but he won't wear it. He's got it in a display case already. So how flat is what? The back of that neck? It's flat. There's the neck starts the curve, then it goes flat all the way across. Mike Wood. Dang it. I keep forgetting I got two different mouse. So yeah. Yeah, I mean you got your fretboard, then the curve starts, and then it just goes completely flat across. So the two lines on the top and the bottom where the curve ends and it goes flat, my thumb rides right on that line on top. That's cool. So yeah, if you ever come out this way to play Garguts, let me know. You can use the Mesa stack, the 150 Invader. Might even let you use the Bones guitar. Because I got a feeling after you spend 10 minutes with it, you're going to love it. Hello, AJ. So, yeah, a lot of stuff coming up. Looking forward to it. Really looking forward to it. And I'm yeah, basically, Peggy, that's what it is. And it's perfect right there. Um, I'm a fan. I know Johnny didn't like doing the long shows anymore. I'm a fan of 3 hour shows or more. I like it because I'm one of the few people who gets on YouTube. If there's a bunch of videos that are 10 minutes or 20 minutes, I don't watch them. I look for the ones that are an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So, I like the longer shows. So, yeah, you can kind of see that the hollow flash on that Kramer. On the rainbow one. Thank you. Um, this one is from Billy Ray. And this one I am routing out for Floyd. So when I do the layout, I'll do it live on a show, showing how to lay out for the Floyd Rose and which steps you do, you running it or routing it. So, and then my shims I made on the printer, I won't have to route this out or cut it out. I can bolt the shim in, and then the locking nut will bolt right through the shim to the wood. So we're good to go. That 3D printer
that that 3D printer is freaking awesome.
I mean, it really is. It's great because, um, like the kill switch I put in the guitar for Laz, um, for the giveaway guitar, I didn't have a cover for it, a round cover. Although I did do, I drilled the hole the right size it needed to be. Then I went with a bigger, excuse me, a little bit bigger hole. It started down, so I could get a cover for the hole and it would lay flush. And then when I'm sitting here and think, oh, I got to find a cover for it, I thought, well, duh, use the 3D printer. So I made one. It took 6 minutes to make one. That's what's on that guitar now. And Billy Ray has offered to do a guitar giveaway for me when I hit 500 subscribers. So, hey, Russell. Silly. Silly Billy. I have no idea, Russell. That's pretty cool. Thank you. Thank you, Silly. Um, yeah, so there's a lot coming up, a lot going to happen. And again, I want to get you guys in the chat on the show here with me. If you're able to do it, got a microphone and camera, and you're in here, we'll get you. I'll send you the link. Come on the show with me. Uh, we can sit here and talk, or come on the bench and you work on guitars. You want to come on but I do want to get people who do work and build guitars on here. And I guess you call it an interview, but like I said, if you're going to the store, you can get there at the same store different ways. So everybody can do different things and get the same result. So I thought it would be interesting. You guys are seeing how I do it, but let's have someone on here that does it different and tell you how they do it too. And ask questions for everybody. So that's what we're looking for. I don't want to talk about that, Russell. So there we go. I'll show you what I'm reading. This is sad because this goes to after the last show. When you get to the end of this, he's talking about how the show went and how he wanted to stand up so hard, like he was trying to shove himself out of the chair, but Sharon had him strapped in it. He's talking all about that, and then you see what he plans on doing, then realize 17 days later he died. So yeah, he put the last 40 or 50,000 voices singing back your words all along. That's what I was chasing. It was the best drug I ever took. So then there's one prior to this. I Am Ozzy. So if you're going to do that, read the I Am Ozzy first, because that actually goes from the beginning through Black Sabbath, and then and at the end of it, and then start with Randy and all that. Then where that one ends, this one picks up to again right after that. So this one doesn't have any photos. The I Am Ozzy one's got photos in. It's right here. I am a fan of Ozzy, Black Sabbath, Randy Rhoads, Jakey Lee, everybody. So read this one first. I have no affiliation with the books or the family, but that's him and his mom and dad there at the bot right here. But it goes into I don't know what that one is, all naked women and everything, but him with the kids, Sharon. Then with the band, with Sabbath. And there's more pictures here. Then you come back towards the back. His quad wreck that actually was what ended up killing him after one of the surgeries right here. So this goes into, it ends at this. Then the other one picks up where this one pretty much ends up. Him and Paul McCartney. So this is good. Yeah, you got to read this one first, then this one. But as you can see, well, you really can't see. Hold on, let me see if I can move the camera real quick. If you look up there, there's Tony Iommi right there. Oh, you can't tell because the light on it. There's Tony Iommi set a pic right there. And right below it says Black Sabbath. I printed that out up on top. We have Ozzy, Randy, Black Sabbath hat. And over here is Randy and Ozzy and Randy. Barry Rich got me that poster. That's the day before. That was the show. The day before Randy died. The day before that show. Then up there through Music Therapy Laz. Thank you, Laz. The two Ozzy pedals or the Randy pedals. So then I do have the polka dot Sandoval there, but I don't take it off the wall because what that thing costs is I'm not messing it up. But I am a big fan of Sabbath and Ozzy and Randy and Jake and Zach and Joe Holmes and Gus G. All of it. Everything. Yeah, there's a rainbow. Then that's actually orange and black. That one back there is yellow and black, but under the black light it looks green. Then there's the mirrored one. Then there's the red mercury crackle. Then there's a green crackle and a blue crackle. And then down here are all Jacksons and 3 Charvels down there. I got the strings off. You know what? I'll hold it up for you. Hold on. The hat. Thank you, Laz. This is a real Sandoval. Carl's signatures right here and inside here. Uh, all Fender hardware on it. And Bay Area Rich picked up this strap for my birthday last year. Same exact one that Randy had on the guitar. Beautiful, fine leather. Still smells, I mean, yeah, like you can tell it's a good leather. There's your switch, Gibson style knobs, Fender tremolo, Marzios.
I got the strings off of it so no one will play it. And Laz gave me the hat. I didn't have the Freud put on that one. I said, no, I want it exactly the way Randy's was. So it's got Fender tuners, Fender bridge, DiMarzio pickups, and it's wired like a Les Paul. And the knob spacing is identical to a Les Paul. And the switch, the three-way switch is on the back, on the top. On the original Concorde, the three-way switch was actually vertical on top of the white. So I'm just reading some of your stuff. Oh yeah, I know what people went through with Dave and Sammy and Van Halen, and then when I went through the same thing with Black Sabbath. To me, Black Sabbath is Ozzy, Geezer, Bill, and Tony. I was I'm trying to think of the right word here. I was skeptical when Ronnie got in the band. But then when I first heard Heaven and Hell, I was like, wow, it's Black Sabbath, but a different style of Black Sabbath, I guess you'd say. Then when Ozzy came back, and then when they did 95, 94, 95, or 96, when they did the reunion tour with all four members, and they did two studio songs on there, Selling My Soul and Psycho Man, I was like, wow, Psycho, I can't believe Psycho Man didn't get released as a single. I couldn't believe that. And then when Ozzy came back and they did the album 13, I was like, oh my God, they picked up right where they left off. So it wasn't the more brighter Dio-ish Black Sabbath than with Ozzy singing. They went back to what it was. So it's like, you go Technical Ecstasy to 13. They picked up perfect. So, I and the first time I heard Is God Dead, I was honest to God, I swear to God, I was in our church fellowship hall preparing, as I do, I teach concealed carry, self defense, shooting, and stuff like that. And our church, they let me use the fellowship hall for the class part of it. So I was in there setting up for the class, and on the radio was new Black Sabbath. Is God Dead? And I thought, well, I'm sitting here listening to this in a church. So that was kind of interesting. But I was hooked. I was like, yeah, okay. They just went right back to what they were. Greasy. Oh, did you? That was cool. Yeah, Pantera. My favorites. Ace, which I have the Funko Pop up there, thanks to Laz. I actually somebody won that and let me have it. I forget who it was now, but yeah. So Ace. I was 5 years old when I first heard Black Sabbath, their first album, or 6 years old. My uncle had it, and prior to that, I grew up on. I'm Italian, so I grew up on Dean Martin, Frank Sinatra, Tony Bennett, uh, Vic Damone, and then Elvis and the Beatles. So that's what I grew up on. Then all of a sudden I hear Black Sabbath. I was like, even as a kid, I was like, what is this? This
and I've been a fan since their very first album. And and you can tell a lot of my influence on my music is the dark bluesy Sabbath style stuff. Wow, Sabbath style stuff. Okay. Um, but so Tony and then Ace from Kiss, because 75 and Kiss Alive 2 with all the pyro and everything like that. It's like, wow, that made me okay. Then I'm going to get in a band because I want to do that. And then Eddie, the thing that got me with Eddie was Eruption. I'm not a big Eddie fan. Don't hate me for that. But Eruption very much impressed me. And then I thought it was good music. But then when Randy came out with Ozzy, I was like, whoa, what is this? Because I also like classical. I have a probably 100 CD collection of different classical music. I took classical music in college. It was one of my classes for 3 years. Um, and then he kind of brought that in, and I was like, this is okay. So I was hooked on Randy. And then obviously he died unnecessarily. And then Jake, I was like, wow. And so I spent the day with Jake when he was in Badlands, when the first Badlands album just came out, because I worked the show, one of the shows, and I spent the whole day with Ray Gillen and Jakey Lee. To when it come time for the sound check, Jake handed me, because we'd sat like 4 hours or almost 5 hours. I'll just say round off 4.5 hours on their tour bus, and I had a guitar. We all had acoustics, me, Jake, and Ray, and we sat there and played anything and everything we could think of. We made up stuff, ready to just start jamming, and someone would join in. Um, I didn't know any of the Badlands stuff because the album had just come out right prior to that, and I had not bought it yet. So when it come time for the sound check, I was standing there with him, and Jake hands me his white Charvel that was in the Bark at the Moon video, and goes, "Here, I'm going out to the soundboard. You play." He knew I could play because I just spent all afternoon with him on the bus. He goes, "So you play with the band. I'm going to go hear this because I never get to do that." So like this, and I grab the guitar and I walk out on the stage. So I'm on the stage. I'm got the guitar, and there's Ray Gillen singing, Eric Singer from Kiss on the drums. I can't remember the bass player's name, and they're looking at me, and it's like I assumed they wanted to play a Badlands song, but I didn't know any. So Ray looks at me and goes, "What are we going to play?" And the first thing that come to my mind was Bark at the Moon. And they kind of grinned and like, okay. So we play Bark at the Moon. I do the solo and everything. Jake's out, clear out the soundboard. We're done. He comes walking up. And I said, "How'd it sound?" He goes, "Not bad. You played it wrong. But don't worry, Zach plays it wrong too." I'm like, okay. So, I'll never forget that. Ever. I will never forget that. Uh, and I got so many stories like that because I worked those shows like Skid Row, um, Aerosmith. Aerosmith was weird though because they had that time had quit drinking. It was the show. I don't know. I can't remember the album, but the stage show was like they were on top of a hotel building, and there was a big flashing hotel sign, but it was backwards, like they were playing behind it on the rooftop. And so all kind of wild stories. But so then we had Tony, Ace, Randy, Jake, then Zach, then Dime. Dime, and to round that one off, I lived in Springfield, Ohio, and he played 45 minutes away at the Alarosa Villa, where my band played in the late 80s and early 90s. And I stood on the left side of the stage. So here's the funny part. We played there 88, 89, 91. We didn't play there in 90. And I think we played there in 92. So we probably played there, I think, a total of like 6 times. So now it's 2004, and I'm working Springfield, and a guy I work with was a Pantera fan also. He's like, hey, it's Damageplan, but they're going to be there. So he bought tickets for me and him both. I ended up getting stuck at work because I was a tool and die maker, and some stuff broke and needed fixed, and they had it set up where if something like that happened, it was mandatory you had to stay. So I didn't get to go. Or I would have been right there in front of Dime. And the guy's name was Gary, but they called him Turtle. So I knew it happened right when it happened because he called me. He's like, dude, Dime just got shot. I'm like, what? And then I turned on the news because by this time I was home. And I was like, what? And I couldn't believe it. Then Turtle made a comment. He goes, dude, I wish you'd have been here. I said, what did you do? He goes, I got the hell out of there. I ran like everybody else. He goes, me being the personal defense shooter instructor. I mean, I taught the Army. I went to Fort Bragg and taught 101st Airborne. I've done classes with police and private citizens. If I would have seen that guy or had any inkling of a gun, plus I would have been right in front of the stage, right in front of Dime, I would have jumped at that. I would have purposely tried to stop that from happening. And Turtle knew that. He's like, dude, if you was here, and that's one of my biggest regrets. I was forced to work. I couldn't go. And if I was there, I like to think I could at least try to prevent it, or maybe got it to the point where he didn't die, just got a flesh wound. But yeah, it took a long time for me to get over that one. So I was with Jake, and could have been with Dime, and yeah, that sucked. That sucked big time. Yeah, because Gary's like, man, I ran. Everybody ran. He's like, dude, if you, and then he's like, then he made the comment. He goes, dude, if you'd have done that and saved Dime's life, he said, the way the brothers were, you would never had to work. They'd have took. I said, I wouldn't have done it for that though. I would have done it because it was the right thing to do. That's my natural instinct. I've taught it for, oh my God, 25 years. So it's natural to me. I have a shirt that says I'm okay with violence. Then I got another one looks like it's got blood all over it and says I'm fine. So usually I wear those when I do some of the classes. But yeah, it sucked and it hurt me for a long time on that one. So wow, we are going on 3 hours and 20 minutes. So anyhow, and George Lynch. So I met Jake, didn't meet Dime, didn't meet Randy. I had tickets, but he got killed. Never got to meet Tony. So George is the only one left other than Jake, or Zach. But so yeah, it's interesting and it's sad. Yeah, there you go, man. But yeah, it sucked. Um, it sucks because a lot of people who didn't know about him and Vinny, they were so generous. It was unbelievable. They, Texas Hippie Coalition played in their bar for a long, long time. Um, there was a video where they were at their mother's house, mother and dad's house, and the neighbor had a car, and just for the fun of it, Dime went and got a sledgehammer and started beating the crap out of the neighbor's car, and they were standing there laughing. And Dime's like, "That's fine. I'll buy him a brand new car tomorrow, but I hate that one." So they always, they were always joking around and having fun, and they weren't stingy. They were very, very giving. So it was on a video. Someone videoed it, and Dime just went and grabbed a sledgehammer out of his dad's garage and went over and started hitting the hubcaps on the car. Then I think he went through the window and hit the hood and the roof. And Benny's like, "What are you doing?" He's like, "I hate this car." And he just started laughing because that's fine. I'll buy him a brand new car tomorrow, but I hate this one. Uh, so but they took care of everybody. Um, and that's what Gary's like, dude. I said, that's not why I did it, or that's not why I would have done it. I should say that'd have been the last thing from my mind. And if you watch the video for Domination live at the Moscow Festival, they're playing in front of somewhere between 750,000 to 1 million people. Now, when Metallica came on at the end, there was 1.5 million people there. But you look at the video, and it's just a sea of people. And what reason I'm bringing that up is because that was voted the best live recorded guitar heavy metal solo ever recorded. So you look that up on YouTube when we're done here for Domination Live, and just watch the solo on that and wait. And when they show the crowd, it's just freaking amazing. You can't see anything but people. Yeah, I know, Brian. That got a lot of people. But could you imagine standing in front of 1 million people playing? And the funny part is, they show the Russian military in the crowd at some couple points, like trying to control people, and you see the military helicopters flying over the crowd. This was the first time that they saw this stuff, and they just went crazy. And and Pantera, everybody, a lot of people said Pantera was the best act of the whole festival, even better than Metallica. But I thought it was a good honor to have Dime with best heavy metal live solo ever filmed and recorded. So it's actually, when you watch that video, you're actually listening to the audio. It's not a dubbed in audio. So, any other? It's 1 a.m., almost 1 a.m. here. Any other questions, comments? I'm going to have to. I'm gonna have to get off here because I have to go get some work done tomorrow in the doctor's office. So, my next scheduled show is Thursday. 8 p.m. Might change it from 7 to 10, and then be on with Laz at 10. And then I'm probably going to do a couple more shows a week. I'm probably going to end up doing at least 4, if not 5 shows a week now, since I'm freed up and I can do as many as I want now. So we'll go from there. Everybody, good night. And I'm going to play the intro as an outro one more time. And that will be it. And I will see you very soon. Good night, everybody.